quarterback Kyle McCord is a Philadelphia Eagle.
Wow. Oh, we got to get Cuz on.
Cuz is going to be so
We got to get
happy.
Cuz on.
Wow.
Kyle McCord, Zach Berman, the Syracuse man. The Eagles add to the quarterback room. A shot across Dorian Thompson-Robinson's bow. But listen, a 6th-round pick in the past turned into Tanner McKee, a starting caliber quarterback. Kyle McCord, the Ohio State transfer who stuck with it and had an impressive season with Syracuse. Sell us on your boy, Zach.
Yeah, if you watch Kyle McCord this year, led the country in passing, was throwing the ball all over the yard. Was if you watched him at Ohio State the year before, you're like, he's playing with Marvin Harrison Jr. He's playing with these top guys, and we all saw Hard Knocks where they were interviewing Marvin Harrison Jr. and he wasn't throwing his quarterback under the bus, but there were these wayward throws, right? He goes to Syracuse. He's not playing with top receivers, and his numbers are terrific. You read different stories about him. He kind of reinvented himself. He found his confidence working with, whether it's Jeff Nixon, their OC, Capinelli, the quarterback's coach who just went to the Jags, really kind of fixed himself up, and I think now Fran and I can disagree with him, but I think he has juice in terms of the way he throws the ball. He's like he's known for like his leadership ability, but processes things quickly. I was watching the recruiting QB camp, only gives you a glimpse of it, but you see like the processing ability there. He doesn't have like a Josh Allen arm, but I think he can throw the deep ball. You saw that was a big part of the Syracuse offense, was the vertical part of it. So if you're talking about this point in the draft, I like Will Howard's mobility, but no issue with Kyle McCord.
61 touchdowns to 20 interceptions over the course of his college career. Much better in the last year, 34 and 12. Bringing a little bit less athletically than some of the other similar players. Didn't test athletically in the pre-draft process. But what are the upsides of Kyle McCord?
I like his touch. I like the ability to be able to navigate the pocket. I think that when you watch him throw, like watching him warm up at the Shrine Bowl, I remember like getting down there first practice and just getting up close to him and just watching him throw. You see, like this guy looks the part. Absolutely, you got to understand why he had that pedigree coming out of high school. The film wasn't perfect, obviously, right? This is a guy that had some clunkers in terms of multi-interception games, but obviously it was extremely productive this season, throwing for that offense. Knows some people on that coaching staff. Obviously, this is a guy that is well familiar with the Eagles and has had a nice run as a starting quarterback. I like the fact that he faced that adversity at Ohio State, transfers, and then finds all that success at Syracuse. I did view him in that same cluster as a bunch of these other quarterbacks that have gone. Like, honestly, to me, personally, I don't think there's a huge leap between Jackson Dart and Kyle McCord.
Wow.
Me personally, I don't think there's a huge leap there. Now, I would not have taken Jackson Dart where I took him, but I think that to me, to see Jackson Dart go round 1 and to see Kyle McCord go round 5, I much rather would take Kyle McCord at this spot than where the Giants got Jackson Dart.
Where's he from, Zach?
South Jersey, Philly area. He's from right over there. Went to high school this way, this way, and this way.
You brought up DeAndre Swift. We got another St. Joe's prep guy.
Yes, yeah, St. Joe. There's Alameda Zacchaeus was a St. Joe's prep guy. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was his high school.
Yeah, this is the real breeding ground.
Yeah.
Throw Georgia away. It's St. Joe's prep.
Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was his high school teammate. So Kyle McCord was a big time recruit, huge recruit. He was Marvin Harrison Jr.'s high school teammate. They were, I don't want to say a package deal, but they go to Ohio State together. McCord replaces C.J. Stroud at Ohio State. I didn't think he was bad at Ohio State, but he was kind of viewed as the scapegoat, right?
I agree with that.
Michigan wins the national, Michigan beats Ohio State. They win the national championship. And the view was they needed to blame somebody. Who did they blame? They blamed the quarterback, Kyle McCord. They won the national championship this year. But if you watch Will Howard,
but you respect the pick yourself up off the mat.
And that's exactly what happened, right? And then Fran Brown, a local guy from over there in South Jersey, first year Syracuse coach, he goes to Columbus, Ohio, sits down with Kyle McCord in Kyle McCord's apartment there, sells Kyle McCord on Syracuse, and I think a pretty good NIL deal too to be the starting quarterback there. Kyle McCord goes there, and to your point, rebuilds himself, was huge for that program this year. And like, going into the year, you're probably not talking about Kyle McCord at this round in the draft. And he became a draftable player based on the way he played.
There were some people that were really big fans of him.
Exactly.
Around the league, in the draft space, like there were people that were really big fans of Kyle McCord, and I do understand it. I always thought like this was the area of the draft where I feel like he was best served to go, and he goes to a great spot. I think this is a great spot for him to go. You learn behind Jalen Hurts and Tanner McKee. I think this is a great spot for him to land.